Well, g'day travellers, and welcome back to another episode of We Went That Away Adventures. And we're kicking off here in Silverton with a cup of coffee. Just had a lamb pie, and he had a beef pie, but we have a dilemma. Got a message from Trilby Station. Big rains expected to hit Tuesday and right through to the weekend, so there's the potential to be stuck at Trilby for 10 days. So we need to make a decision on whether we're skip Trilby or I don't know. We don't know what we're going to do at the moment. So we're about to head into Broken Hill. We're going to fuel up and make a decision. So apparently the rain's coming down from north. We are heading up into it. So anyway, all part of the adventure. Well guys, just done a shop here in Broken Hill and we've decided to give Trilby a miss. Speaking to Liz, she said there's a possibility of being stuck in there for up to 10 days. There's a stack of rain apparently coming through. So we've made the decision. We're just here stocking up some food and we're going to head straight through to Burt. We're going to try and get into Kidman's camp. I did try to give him a call this morning. No one's answering the phone. If not, we'll find a free camp somewhere. It's Anzac Day tomorrow, so nothing's going to be open, so we thought we'd get in here, stock up. We're going to fuel up somewhere. We might try and get out of town because there's a lot of caravans from the Bash. Might fuel up in Wilcannia or something and then do the run through to Burt. So see where we go from there. Looks like we're going to be making this one up as we go. Well, I reckon we're changing our plans more than we're changing our undies at the moment because we are going to Trilby Station again. So we were going to push through to Burke, but we weren't going to get there until well after dark. Then we thought we might go and stay at the Tilpa pub, but they've got no cook on today and it's going to go to the pub, don't have any pub grub. So we just rang Liz back at Trilby and we're going to head down there. We're going to stay the night. And then we'll probably shoot off sometime tomorrow and before the rains come, and maybe head to Kidman's camp in Burt, possibly. We don't really bloody know. But, at the moment, we're going to Trilby. We're going to Trilby as well. Spend the night there, have a shower. Really need a shower. And then back on the road sometime tomorrow. And I reckon we'll head down to Kidman's. Unless the plans change again. We'll see you with Trilby. Onto the dirt now, and we've got about 180 k's of this before we get to Trilby Station. So we're just going to pull over here. We are running highway pressures around about 45 psi, and the road's a little bit rough. It's not too bad, but we're going to drop them down to around about 30 psi, and that's going to do two things. It's going to absorb some of the impact from the corrugations. It's also going to make the tyres more pliable, so we minimise the risk of a blowout. Time to get out and let some air out. Discovered we've got an issue with the batteries in the camper trailer. It stopped charging up from the vehicle, so I've just checked to see if the Anderson plug that we installed on the back of the car is getting power, and that's no drama. So it seems to be on the camper side. I really don't. I know bugger all about these BMS systems in these camper trailers, so I'll have a look to see if something's come unplugged or whatever when we get to Trilby. But we're sitting around about 60%. It charged perfectly fine when we were heading out to the Mundi Bash, and we did have to sort of bypass the BMS for the solar, which worked really well, by the way. But now we've got no charge going into the camper, so fingers crossed we can work out what's going on there. 5, so it's getting dark. It's been a pretty slow trip, and we're on the Tilpalale Road at the moment, and we've just gone through a couple of sections of bull dust that were fair dinkum like driving down a beach. They must have been, I don't know, they were a couple of 100 mils deep, easy, and the car was sliding, the trailer was sliding, we were back to second gear, diff locks in, crazy. So that's why we're only going to do an overnight and get out of here hopefully before the rains come, because we won't be going anywhere if it rains before we get out of here in the morning. So almost dark, going to check in with Liz at the homestead, probably try and grab a shower before we go and pick our campsite, and just a quick setup for the night and back on the roads and get back on the bitumen before the heavens open. Well, Tuesday they're saying, but it's looking pretty grey and pretty grim out here. Well folks, we're in at Trilby Station. We rolled in after dark, and things ain't looking great, to be honest. We can't get the camper to charge up. We're currently sitting on 11.7 volts and 50% by the gauge, which is pretty much dead when it comes to AGMs. We had to jerry-rig the solar. Where we are at Trilby, even if we were camping here for 4 days, there's that many trees around, we wouldn't get any charge anyway. We took the car through some bull dust and hit a bit of a washout. When we pulled up, we couldn't get the kitchen out. Don't know where half the caps for the stove have ended up. And we've got, I just had a look at where the batteries and the BMS is, and it's absolutely full of dust. So it hasn't fared too well, and we haven't, it's not like it was an overly rough road. It went through, we did go through a lot of bull dust, and we hit one washout out, which did bounce the trailer a little bit, but yeah, it's not looking good, and it's looking like we may have to head home tomorrow and try and get this shit rectified and find out whether we've got a D-Max that works too. That'd be good. So I tell you what, it's been a struggle, but we got Mundi. That's right, we got the Mundi Mundi, which was good, because I wouldn't have liked to chuck $1,500 worth of tickets down in the rain. So,
and that was, that we didn't think we were going to get there to begin with, so, and we did, and we enjoyed it. It was the best time.
So we're going to
we need to get these points.
Well, we're going to have some chicken and coleslaw rolls inside the camper, because there's every bug known to mankind out here. If we try to cook something, we're just going to end up with, I don't know, bug whatever, bug bolognese or something. So anyway, we'll go and have some dinner, and we'll catch us in the morning. Well, morning guys. We're got a little bit of daylight now, and assessing all the parts that rattled off through the washouts yesterday. So we've managed to find the missing bits of the stove. They were up inside the cavity. But if you got one of these things, the tip is all these burners and caps, take them off and stick them in the drawer somewhere, because you're obviously going to be chasing them. Those heavier parts should be okay, but what happened, everything bounced up. This here was up on an angle, we couldn't get the kitchen out, and then we couldn't find all the bits, and the burners obviously don't work without the parts to them. So yeah, little tip for the uninitiated: take all this stuff off your stove and pack it away somewhere before you travel. So we are going to pack up this morning and head off, but before we do it, I wanted to take a walk down to the river, because we were here, I can't remember when we were here. We were here a few years ago, and there was a massive walk down the side of the river until you got to the water. Take a look at this. The water is all the way to the top of the bank, and look at those beautiful colours starting to pop in the sky. We're absolutely spewing. We're supposed to have 4 nights here at the beautiful Trilby Station. I was looking forward to trying to catch myself a yellow belly or a Murray cod, and throwing the yabby traps in. But alas, we're going to need to come back and do it some other time. Well, the saga continues. We've got the batteries charging again. For how long, we don't know. Run into an old colleague of mine, used to be workshop foreman at ARB, and we had a bit of a look at it. We found that it had tripped one of the circuit breakers, don't know why, and we got it charging again. And we just pulled over on the side of the road to chuck in some pies because we don't think anything's going to be open in Burke when we get there this morning because it's Anzac Day. And the circuit breaker had tripped again, so I've reset that. As far as I know, we are charging again. Is it going to be reliable? I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. And then we've got to suss out what this weather's doing. So there's a big weather front coming down from the Queensland South Australia border, which is exactly where we're headed. So I don't know. We'll get into town, we'll work it out at fair dinkum. We've got more twists and turns than an episode of Sons and Daughters.
Sons and Daughters.
Sons and Daughters. We had number 96 a couple of episodes ago. Sons and Daughters now.
Oh, yeah.
Showing our age. Old farts and caravan parks, eh? Alright, we'll see you in Burke, and I don't know. Who knows? I'm not even going to guess anymore. What's happening next? Oh, corrugations!
Gotta love corrugations.
Oh, I love corrugations. Alright, we'll see you in Burke, Scott. In Burke's. We'll see you somewhere in Burke. Rightio, next instalment on what is happening. So we've got into Burke now. I've reset the circuit breaker. I don't know how many times it keeps tripping out. So there's obviously an issue there. We're getting little bits of charge intermittently before the circuit breaker cuts out, but it's not doing the job. Where were we going before? Diamantina and Birdsville off the cards. Massive rain, road closures everywhere. So unfortunately, even if the camper was charging, we wouldn't be getting up there. So that's out the window. So ingenious plan, and this is all going to be depending on whether the hardware store in Burke is going to open at 1 o'clock, which we have no idea. Is if we can grab ourselves a 15 amp lead.
Maybe we can plug in.
And that means we're going to have to obviously stop in some caravan parks every couple of days and plug in to recharge everything. But it may be enough to get us somewhere. So
salvage what we got left.
We're thinking the plan now is to sort of head east and then north. So we're probably going to bunker down in Kidman Camp here in Burke tonight, because it's by the time we get to the hardware, or at least wait for the hardware to open tomorrow, and then head for Lightning Ridge. Hook up at the caravan park there at Lightning Ridge for a couple of days. Maybe go do some car door tours and visit a couple of the pubs
that we didn't get to see last time.
Yeah, have a couple of hot springs. Don't mind the hot springs. We'll do that. I don't think
old people soup.
I don't think. Did you bring any togs? I didn't bring any togs.
No, I didn't either.
Right. So shopping for togs in either Burke or Lightning Ridge, and then from there, I don't know. We might go up to Bundy or somewhere. Up to Bundaberg. Always wanted to do the distillery tour. Who knows? So it's all going to be pending on whether we can get ourselves a 15 amp lead, literally in the back of Burke. Stay tuned. So what's happening, Neen? We're in the kitchen at Kidman's camp.
And we're doing a steak, potatoes, tomato, and pasta salad.
This is a
And a bit of beer to go with that too, I reckon. You can have the one. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of yet another episode, and what an arse about episode that was. But we've been into Burke this morning, we've grabbed the 15 amp lead, and we're going to somehow recover this trip. We're not going to get to Diamantina and Birdsville, unfortunately. The rains have made sure of that, but we are headed towards Lightning Ridge now. You know the drill. If you like what we do, smash that subscribe button, and we'll catch you all on the next episode of We Went That Away Adventures. Cheers, guys.